We are here for a severe weather coverage. This is my first time ever doing this. I don't know how long we're gonna last today, but I know that a lot of people are out there already, and just for now, we only have one special weather statement, and that is up here for Greenville, Travelers Rest, Spartanburg, Inman, Landrum, Gaffney, Blacksburg, and places like that. With that, that does come with 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and and pea-sized hail. Gusty winds can knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecure objects. Minor hail damage to outdoor objects is possible. Again, Greenville, downtown Greenville, West Greenville, Spartanburg, Gaffney, Greenville, East Side, Malden, Greer, Taylor's, and Five Forks. If you're outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside of a building. If you know anybody inside these regions as well, let them know and tell them to get indoors. Because as of now, I'm not really watching for like anything too bad with these storms just yet. But as we get later into the day, into like kind of like the night hours, we will start to see these storms start to move kind of in North Carolina. They're going to start to go to like central North Carolina. This is the prime environment right here that we're watching for. We also do have a tornado watch up here as well for portions of West Virginia, with a tornado warning, tornado warning being possible, I should say. Down here, same thing in Tennessee as well, down there near Knoxville. We also do have a few trees down inside of Lake Forest, Tennessee, in Knox County. That was around 5 o'clock. And other than that, I don't think we have anything else. We do have a special weather statement over here inside North Carolina, but I'm not really watching for anything too bad as of now. Same thing over here near kind of like the very eastern portion of North Carolina. We do have a special weather statement over there as well. Other than that, I don't see anything else too bad. Obviously, a tornado watch. I said that earlier. And we had a whole bunch of rain. I mean, just like a bunch of rain come down near the Charleston area, where they did have a flood advisory in effect. It has expired already, but it's very interesting just to see how quickly it floods down there, especially downtown. But I guess right now, the best thing right now to do is just to wait until we start getting those severe thunderstorm warnings. I mean, if we have time, we might go on ahead and talk about up there inside West Virginia and Kentucky as well. Because I mean, if these storms are popping up, obviously, you can go ahead and check out the models as well. Switch over to the ARRR, and we go ahead and switch over to the composite reflectivity. You go on ahead and check this thing out. You can see that when it pushes eastward, I mean, we could have some more severe storms down there inside of, South Carolina as well. But North Carolina, I think, is the main thing that I'm watching for right now. And the reason why, because if you go on ahead and switch over to the STP, the significant tornado parameters, it's just how likely it is to see a tornado. They ramp up significantly, especially going into like Durham, North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina, as well. I'm trying to figure out why Riley is not popping up, but pretty much we're just gonna have to watch out. I think that North Carolina definitely could potentially see a tornado tonight. I'd say like around 8 to 9 p.m., especially if you're inside like the Raleigh area as well. That's also another area that we're going to have to watch out for. But as of now, the only thing that I'm really watching for now is down here in Greenville, or up here in Greenville, because I'm south of Greenville. And obviously all of these storms right here, because they're also trying to do stuff as well going through. I mean, you see some greens, some reds, and pretty much if those greens and those reds are touching each other, that pretty much means that there's rotation. Now, you might see all this is just corruption. That's like nothing that we have to worry about. You also see at the bottom of the screen, and you see my logo at the bottom right, but look at the very, kind of like the bottom center left. And you see the phenomena and the warning summary, the warning end, the warning start, and you see all that. Pretty much what I have here is pretty much anytime they issue, like right there, anytime they issue a severe thunderstorm warning, it will pop up down there at the bottom. You can go ahead and check it out, with the counties, um, and pretty much what it's for is like we just got a severe thunderstorm warning for Clay, Fayette, Kanawha, Nicholas, in counties inside of West Virginia. So I'm gonna go ahead and fly over to that real quick. We're going ahead and get over here. Insane. That is a bunch of rotation over here, especially inside of West Virginia. That's going to move, obviously, this way, and honestly, they should have a tornado possible tag, which they do. So I am watching potentially for this thing to start rotating. As you can see, you have winds going that way and then winds going that way. That's going to go on ahead and connect, and that's what pretty much spawns these tornadoes. The rear flank downdraft and the inflow are two of the most important things for the tornado, if not the whole base starting of a tornado, pretty much. Going back and checking on the storm out here inside of Greenville and Spartanburg as well. Going ahead and switch over. I'm not really watching any rotation right now, but we still have these clusters of storms that's about to get into like the Spartanburg region as well. Again, that is for 50-mile-per-hour winds, and this storm is moving fast. It's moving at around 55 miles an hour, so it's like it's traveling down kind of like a not a highway, a U.S. highway, I should say, not an interstate. So yes, we're gonna continue watching that, seeing what this does. As of now, nothing right now, but continuing on, talking about up here in West Virginia, we're gonna go up to here. Also, if you're just tuning in and you're just coming to the stream, we are doing live weather coverage. This is my first time doing this, so I just wanted to test it out, see how everything worked. I don't know how long we're gonna be live for. Just matters how long this threat inside of South Carolina and North Carolina occurs. But right now, just because nothing's happening right now inside of South Carolina and North Carolina right now, so we're actually zoomed all the way out, or zoomed all the way in to West Virginia as well, because they do have a tornado threat over here. And over here near Montgomery, Dixie, Belva, Agnew, I think that's how you say that, Lockwood, and Independence as well. That does come obviously with the inch in diameter of hail. Honestly, I think that maybe could be upgraded a little bit higher. I think that more than an inch is falling. But that also does come with a tornado watch as well, and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So we're just watching this, seeing what's happening. And as of now, nothing too broad yet that I'm really watching for right now. But definitely gonna have to watch out for a couple of thunderstorms if you're up there. Also, if you know anybody in West Virginia, this would be a great time to send them the stream invite, or just go on ahead and let them know what's going on. Again, like if you know anybody inside Montgomery, West Virginia, this is just east of Charleston, West Virginia. Montgomery, West Virginia, Pratt, West Virginia, Dixie, West Virginia, and Gully Bridge, West Virginia as well. Know anybody inside those regions, going ahead and let them know. Going back down to South Carolina, we still do have that we have a new special weather statement that goes all the way up into North Carolina. That does include Rutherfordton. I'm not familiar with the names inside North Carolina, but I think that is Rutherfordton, Forest City, Bostic, Ellenboro, Polkville, and Lake Lure. Columbus and Tryon is also in there as well, as this will start moving into North Carolina. This will also bring 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and pea-sized hail. So if you know anybody inside of this area, you know anybody inside the light blue polygon, go on ahead and let them know and tell them. It is time for you to get indoors because you have a strong storm on the way with 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and pea-sized hail. As of now, it's not looking too intense on the rotation side as well. We're also watching for tornadoes as well. But going on ahead, I was just talking about it earlier. I don't know if anyone saw that or not, but switch over to the ARRR. The main reason why I wanted to go live today for my first time was because of this. You have this is the significant tornado parameters, and pretty much this is the scale up here. So if you go ahead and push this forward, you can see that those grays start turning to greens, and the greens, the yellows to orange, the reds, and the pinks. And as you can see, I mean, we have a lot of tornado juice. I know a lot of people call it that. A lot of tornado juice going all the way into North Carolina. Not only North Carolina, but Virginia as well. Richmond, Virginia, Raleigh, North Carolina as well. I'd even say down there close to just west of Greenville, North Carolina. So we are watching because this will start inside South Carolina. I mean, we already have tornado juice already inside South Carolina as we speak. That's going through Sumter and Rock Hill right now, but the storms right now just aren't there. And I feel like that if there were more storms in this area, the tornado potential would be a bit higher. But right now, I mean, like, look at that juice inside of South Carolina around 7 p.m. going up into Charlotte, Statesville, and even up here inside of Raleigh as well. Continuing on, we go on to the composite reflectivity. We do have a couple of storms right there, but I don't know if they're going to be inside of that main juice area or not. But we're going to be live for as long as we need to be until it's over and we don't really have anything else to talk about. Going back to the radar though, and switching over, looking at the storm up here inside of northern South Carolina, up there inside of Spartanburg and Columbus, North Carolina. Not really seeing that much as of now. Switching back over to the velocity. Again, not really seeing much. I am seeing, as I refresh the radar, I'm not really seeing, again, much, but definitely some strong winds in there. I mean, the radar right now is depicting around a good 50 miles an hour, which is why we have the special weather statement issued, because of those strong winds as well. As of now, this is not the worst part of it yet. This will definitely evolve later. And just going all the way back up here inside of West Virginia, because I do want to talk about this as well, because this is a pretty big threat as well. We did just get a flash flood warning issued over here for Man and Robinette, Van, Comfort, Madison, and Greenview inside of West Virginia as well. And over here inside of West Virginia, again, another severe thunderstorm warning. We talked about this earlier, and I said that it had some very intense rotation. I mean, you can see right here. See the rotation right there, maybe even right here as well. Not really connecting too much, but as you can see, for sure, rotation is there, and they need to watch out inside of West Virginia. If you know anybody inside this region right here, inside this red polygon. And I think that's all I have to report on for right now. Not really seeing anything too much. Just watching for the potential for some strong winds, especially going up here inside northern South Carolina as well. Also, we do have some more storms down here as well, going from Union, Whitmire, Newberry, and Lexington, South Carolina as well. And we also did just get another special weather statement for over here inside of North Carolina. That includes Andrews, Murphy, and Hayesville. inside of North Carolina as well. That is for, seems to be 45-mile-per-hour wind gust. Includes Athens, Madisonville, Andrews, Murphy, and the Hanging Dog Mountain as well, up there inside North Carolina. And it even goes into parts of, I think that is Tennessee as well. This is going to be a very, very quiet period as well. There's not going to be too much to say until we get to around 7, 8 o'clock. I think that's when we're going to start to see those storms really start to kick up. So right now, we're not really watching for a whole bunch. Again, we're just going to be waiting until around 7 to 8 o'clock. And then I think that's when we're going to start seeing most of the action start to kick up again. But the weather is starting to get actually kind of nice. I mean, I'm looking outside my window right now. It is sunny out there. Not really watching for anything else really for the majority of like the Midlands, the Low Country, and the PD region of South Carolina. Just well, actually, yes, I'd say the Midlands potentially later, but the PD and the Low Country, especially the coast as well, not really watching for too much for South Carolina as this point, but definitely still keep an eye out. Maybe if you see like a little stray cloud or something like that. Because if you want to ahead and check this out, I think if we go through to the recording and we switch over, I probably should talk about the SPC outlook as well before I start going on and talking about other things. But here's the SPC outlook for South Carolina for right now. Right now, it's only a marginal risk. Same thing for North Carolina. But I do think that there's a potential that the North Carolina could potentially be upgraded to a slight. I've been talking about it for a while. I'm surprised that it's not a slight risk already. But as of now, it's only a marginal. If we want to switch over to the 4 panel, you can see over here for the tornado risk. The tornado risk, everyone in South Carolina still has a 2% risk of tornadoes. I would actually kind of reduce that and get rid of mainly like the coast, because I don't think that the coast is really going to see too much of anything for the rest of the day. Same thing with wind as well, but definitely the upstate and the Midlands potentially I think should still be there. Going through all the way through, I mean, you can even see the day 2 right here. We only have the TSTM for tomorrow as well for like the very northern portions of South Carolina as well, and then we're pretty much done after that when it comes to severe weather, unless we get hit by another marginal risk. But as of now, and I usually wouldn't even go live for things like this, but I do believe that potentially that North Carolina should be updated to a slight risk. That's just my opinion. I think that it should. I don't know why it's not, but for some reason it isn't. I just got a text that said, hold on, let me go back to my streaming thing real quick. It says, what will happen in Philadelphia and New York. So let me go ahead and zoom out and take a look at this. Since we're in a down period right now, I'm not really watching for anything too bad right now, especially down there inside South Carolina, and we have not gotten our first tornado warning yet either. So at this point, I'm kind of just staying back, waiting just to see what's going to happen. Really just waiting for around 7 to 8 p.m. to hit. Continuing on, though, going on to New York. I mean, as of now, I'm not really watching, again, maybe a couple of showers, but I'm not really watching for anything too bad right now. We do have some heavy rain, potentially some moderate to heavy rain over there inside western New York, but I think the city of New York itself is fine. Maybe, again, just like a couple of showers up there. Philadelphia, though, going over here to Philadelphia. Philadelphia, same thing, maybe a couple of showers surrounding there. But again, not watching for anything too crazy. So a little update on these storms up here inside of the Greenville Spartanburg region. They're going over Spartanburg right now, potentially bringing up to around a good 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gust. So watch out if you're inside, like Spartanburg, Converse, Cowpens, and Gaffney as well. Even though it will expire in 4 minutes, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. I don't know. They might extend it, or they might just be like, no, we're just gonna go ahead and just get rid of it. There's no point. So yeah, we're just waiting on that. Same thing with North Carolina up here. Around a good 50 mile per hour wind gust still possible for Forest City, Rutherfordton, Columbus, Spindale, Tryon, Lake Lure, Saluda, Polkville, Ellensboro, and Lattimore. So, just watching for everything else up here. And then going on, zooming out and going to our storm instead of West Virginia as well. And the rotation on that storm, it's cranking even more. I mean, I would not be surprised at all if we see a tornado warning in a couple of minutes for that, because that is some very, very intense rotation. So watching still up there for West Virginia as well. Up here near Dixie, Cambria, Vaughn as well. I'm honestly surprised that there's not a tornado warning. I kind of would have drew it like this. They did update the severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like. But they still do have the tornado possible tag. 1 inch in diameter hail and 60 mile per hour wind gust is still the main threat. Radar indicated hail damage to vehicles expected. Expect wind damage to roof, siding, and trees from the storm. But yeah, that's definitely a lot of rotation when it comes to this as well. Again, if you are just tuning in to the live stream right now, we're going to be covering the live threat for severe weather for up here inside North Carolina and South Carolina as well. I decided to just go ahead and cover North Carolina because they did have a high threat for storms as well, kind of more than South Carolina, and I wanted to test it out today just to see what happens. And I mean, as I'm looking at it right now, South Carolina is not seeing a lot right now. Same thing with North Carolina as well. So right now, I'm just watching the potential for these isolated storms right here to potentially start to get going. Maybe try to do something over in this area right here, South Carolina, and then they will obviously move off and they'll kind of go into North Carolina kind of. Same thing with these storms up here. I'm watching for a big tornado threat kind of over here inside of High Point, Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Pittsboro, Sanford, Linden Oaks, and Fayetteville, Wadesboro, Monroe. All of that inside of North Carolina as well. But right now, nothing's really going on. We're in a bit of a down period. We're honestly at this point just waiting. We're just waiting at this point to see what happens with these storms. If you see at the bottom of the screen, I just explained it earlier, but you can see these are all the warnings that we get. We just got a special marine warning around 5 minutes ago, and it's going to last about an hour. That's over there. I think that's down there in Florida. They got a strong storm off the coast of Florida, so that's why they issued that warning. Other than that, we're just in South Carolina. We have no warnings for South Carolina except for just a couple of flood warnings down here near Berkeley County and on the coast, or not the coast, but of the border of South Carolina and Georgia. And right now, just potentially watching for these storms to start, again, making their way eastward, maybe try to intensify in those more tornado-prone environments as well. I might pull up a a camera thing inside South Carolina as well. Might put that to the side. But checking back on this storm inside of West Virginia, the rotation is still there. It's still there, not as intense as it was, but it kind of weakened a little bit. But there is still rotation with that. And according to what some people were saying about the storm up here inside West Virginia as well, they're pretty much just saying that it kind of that I mean that it was rotating strongly. And I mean, if you saw it earlier, we saw it, and it definitely was rotating strongly. But again, just back here, these wind gusts are starting to reach up to 55 miles an hour just to the west of Forest City, inside of North Carolina, going towards or going through Rutherfordton right now. Let me see if we have a thing inside of Rutherfordton, North Carolina right now. Yes, okay, so they do have a highway camera, but it's not. It's interesting how it's working right now. Alright, yes, so they do have cameras. Turn that on. If you also do have any questions on like where if you have any questions pretty much on where like your location is and like where when will the storm get to you as well, go ahead and ask those as well. Going on ahead and switching over because I do want to talk about this. The scene 2, I'm going to go on ahead and show you guys the camera over here. This is inside North Carolina right now. And I mean, as you can see, the rain definitely is coming down out there. And this is close to Rutherfordton. This is where we were talking about earlier. Like not even a minute or two ago. And you can see that pretty much it's raining out there. The wind's picking up out there. And there still is people driving. So, especially with those truckers as well, especially with 55-mile-per-hour wind gusts, they're going to have to watch out for that as well. But here's kind of like a little freeze frame that they had around 5:42, so around a good 7 minutes ago. Alright, I was also watching as well. And if you go on ahead and switch over to the reflectivity, go over here towards North Carolina, you can see we have all of these storms over here to our east as well. And switching over to velocity, you can see that there's a bunch of reds out there. There's a bunch of greens out there. So if these do decide that they want to connect at any point and try to rotate, you're going to have to watch it, especially as it goes into North Carolina as well. We still do have the special weather statement up here inside of North Carolina as well, just to the northwest. It was just inside Rutherfordton, but now it has moved to the north now, and is now going up, seems like up Highway 64 and Highway 221 going towards the Camp Grimes Scout Reservation inside of North Carolina as well. That's where this storm will be next, honestly. And look at this, the radar is indicating winds of up to 60 miles an hour as well. I think if you go down and tilt, what does it show? Yeah, still kind of like a good 50 miles an hour or so. So still a good 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gust still with the storm. Kind of like in this region right here. And that's moving. Seems to be kind of north. Kind of like it this way. Kind of like the northeast. Okay, we did get a new radar scan as well. Yeah, and this one's getting gusts of up to 66 miles per hour now, so this might get upgraded to a severe thunderstorm warning if they're confident enough. And this is like kind of like in front of the storm. As you can see, kind of like in front of the storm, they're kind of watching for these storms in front, for these winds in front of the storm, I should say. So going back down to South Carolina as well. Go ahead and click on the Columbia radar. Still have all of these storms moving this way, kind of like they will pack this area right here kind of soon. So watching for, like Union, Chester, Lancaster, Great Falls, Windboro, Pomaria, Peak, Chapin. Pretty much everybody inside those regions as well. Elgin, Camden, Richburg, and maybe even up in the Rock Hill as well. We are watching the potential for some more downpours, and as of right now, not really watching for anything tornadic or wind-wise, but that could definitely change in a couple of seconds. Also, if you have not been here, been watching, we also do have a storm up here inside West Virginia that's weakened significantly, but it was rotating immensely earlier. I mean, that was some very, very strong rotation earlier, but it's kind of weakened at that point. So we're going back down here in the South Carolina and North Carolina. Also, if you don't know if you heard the news or not, but we did have a huge tornado down there inside of St. Augustine, Florida earlier. So if you know anybody in St. Augustine, Florida, you might want to let them know. Or if you know somebody that knows somebody inside St. Augustine, Florida, you may want to check and see if they're all right, because that was a big tornado that they just had in St. Augustine earlier. Again, I said this earlier, but if you guys do have any questions about anything, you can also leave them inside the chat as well. I already had one question asked already, was up there inside New York and Pennsylvania as well. Answered that earlier. And it doesn't matter if it's inside like a different state, just probably just need to keep it inside the United States though. As of max wind gust for right now, I'm trying to see where we have gotten our some max wind gust at my house. We have gotten a gust, let's see, 21 miles per hour. So that's around the max gust that I got at my house today. Now that could obviously change because I've seen twigs down inside my neighborhood already. I'm gonna go down here in Charleston and see what they have seen as well. Down there, they've seen gusts of up to 21 miles an hour. Um, Over here, inside of Myrtle Beach, let's go ahead and go up there, see what they see up there. Yeah, they're getting some intense winds over there around southeast at 9 miles an hour. So that's sustained winds of pretty much close to 10 miles an hour, gusts of up to 25 to 30 miles an hour up there right now in Myrtle Beach. Going through to Greenville as well. Go ahead and click on that. They're getting winds right now. Pretty calm right now. It seems like from what I can see on my screen. I know y'all can't see it, but I've not seen any bad type of wind reports inside of Greenville just yet. Yeah, pretty much. I only see 13 to 15 miles an hour, so there probably is some odd weather station out there, but there's a lot of weather stations inside of Greenville, so that's going to be a lot for me to click through. But as of now, we're still just watching for this severe weather potential. Also, I gotta figure out why my quality it's so down. It says that for some reason, I don't know if that's a glitch with YouTube or if that's something on my end, but it says that I only can go up to 360p and I can't go any higher. If I check on my phone, because that's on my computer, um, it, I don't know. Let me see. No, on my phone, no, not on my phone. It still says 360 as well, but it looks way better. No, no, that looks horrible. No, that looks bad. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that inside the future. But we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning up there inside West Virginia for Clay in Nicholas counties as well. Alright, again, if you are just tuning in, we do have some not really breaking severe weather right now, kind of just weather coverage right now, just seeing what's going on. As of now, we're only watching for some severe weather up here inside of North Carolina that did just get extended. Let's go ahead and talk about that. And it lasts for an hour. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be a long time. But over here inside North Carolina for Marion, North Carolina, Morgantown, North Carolina, Lenoir, and Gamewell, North Carolina, Cedar Rock, North Carolina, and Crossnor, as well as Valdez, North Carolina, or Valdez, North Carolina as well. 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and pea-sized hail is the main threat. Gusty wind could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects as well. So again, like Lenoir, Morgantown, Marion, Newland, Sawmills, Valdez, Gamewell, Hudson, and Drexel as well. We also did just get a flood advisory as well until 9 p.m. tonight. Pretty much for, seems like to be another 1 to 3 inches have fallen since this morning. And I guess that's going to issue potentially for some flood warnings, especially since there is some more rain that's about to fall on them again. So I think that's why they issued that. But again, as of right now, inside South Carolina, my main region, there's no more warnings really, except for just some flood warnings as well. And again, there might be some quiet times at times because I mean, there's just not a whole lot going on. Like if we had a tornado warning inside South Carolina, or if we had severe thunderstorm warnings inside South Carolina or anything like that, um, I would be talking a whole bunch more. But there's just not a lot going on. I think again, 7 to 8 p.m. Also, if you have not hit the like button yet and subscribed already, because I know we probably do have some new people in there. We just hit 65 today. We just hit 65, so if you want to go ahead and get us back up to around, I'm trying to get up to 75. That's my next goal, and we're getting up there pretty quickly. Um, definitely more than, definitely faster than when we used to. So if you guys have not hit the like button yet, go ahead and do that. And subscribe if you haven't, because we're 10 away from our goal of 75. We go back to that camera, the thing that I was at earlier. I want to see where that storm is going through Morgantown right now. Where is the most intense winds? Also, I just saw this right now, but seems like these thunderstorms over here inside South Carolina are starting to kick up a little bit. Seeming like they want to try something. Over here near Union, Carlisle, over here just west of Winsboro as well, and just north of Columbia, they're starting to turn red. You're starting to see those, that rain is starting to increase. Right now, I'm not seeing a lot of rotation and a lot of wind with them right now, but I mean, again, I'm just watching because this is very interesting to see here. Um, so I guess we're just gonna go ahead and wait. That I'm trying to think what I should do because obviously not a lot is happening right now. So I'm trying to think, should I wait and leave the stream up, and then when it gets around 7 to 8 p.m., should I go on ahead and start right back, or should I just go on ahead and I'm trying to think what I should do here. I think that probably would have been better if I would have just went on ahead and just waited until like around like 7 to 8 p.m. and then finally came back. I'm trying to think if that's what I should have done. But um, we're going to go ahead and continue on watching the radar. As of now, just again, nothing too intense, especially down here inside South Carolina. Again, just if you have, just leave the stream running inside the background if you want to. We did just get a new special weather statement up here inside North Carolina as well. That includes Boone, Blowing Rock, and Jefferson, and Lansing as well. So we're going to go ahead and switch back down here into South Carolina, but, well, actually, yeah, we're going to switch over to this radar. And I'm also going to shrink this thing at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and unlock. I'm going to go ahead and shrink it because it is kind of big at the bottom. Honestly, I think we might just leave it like this for a while. Obviously, because there's not a lot going on right now, and it's kind of just like a downtime at this point. We're just waiting. So I might just go ahead and leave the stream up. If I have anything to say, I'll come on and say it. But I mean, as of now, we're just waiting for these storms to pop up. I will say though that these storms inside South Carolina are really starting to catch my attention now, especially over here near Carlosville. This one right here, I'm watching for immensely because if you're going in, I don't think it really has rotation wise, but it's trying to do something. I think that it's gonna try and do something. Will it be tornado warned? I'm not sure, but I mean it's starting to have like that bean shape. Kind of has like this little hook down here, and you have like the kind of like it looks like a supercell. You have the thing right here, then you have the end, and it kind of looks like that. So honestly, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see with that, especially because I think it's starting to get into that tornado prime environment, and I think it's gonna try some. That's just me though. But I think I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the radar at this. And we also do have some storms trying to get in from Georgia as well. Look at Georgia trying to bring in some storms as well up here inside Central Walhalla and Pickens as well. So I mean, literally Central, Seneca, Easley, Greenville, all of this area right here that I just circled was under a special weather statement, and now more storms are actually going to come in from the east, and they're going to actually try to bring in some more storms to this area again. Continuing on, I think that our storm side West Virginia is pretty much done. I've not checked on it yet, but I don't expect that it probably got any stronger. It was already weakening already. Alright, well. But again, just inside like a little quiet period right now, not a lot happening. But I am still watching the radar for sure, and especially over here inside the upstate as well. I mean, just these storms right here, again, are just catching my attention, and these over here are catching my attention as well. They're inside of a very prime environment, and I think that, especially these ones over here. Now, these ones over here, we're not, I mean, they're kind of primed, they're starting to, especially over here near, like, Walhalla, over there near Walhalla, you can see, I mean, they're trying to do something, and I think that they're going to try to, but I don't think they're going to really succeed that much. It's these ones right there. I mean, look at this supercell down here near Chester. I mean, that's just insane. I mean, you don't see that inside South Carolina so often, but luckily it does not have any rotation with it right now, as I can see, but that was almost a textbook definition of like a mini supercell right there. Continuing on though with the rotation wise, Most of the, I mean, this one's trying to do something with rotation. This one right here. It's trying to do something with rotation. Also, if you are just tuning in, we are still talking about the severe weather threat going into South Carolina and North Carolina as well. I was thinking that I might take a little bit of a radar break and just let the radar run because there's not a lot going on right now. It's really just us sitting here watching the radar, waiting for stuff to happen. I probably will pop back on. Oh, that's wind outside that I hear. But I'm pretty much just at this point. We're just waiting. Please make sure that if you have not hit the like button yet, we're at 7. Let's go ahead and try and get up to 10. Try to get that button up. We're all the way at 65 subscribers for right now. And please make sure that you go ahead and share as well, so you can get more subscribers here on the channel. We're at 66 now. We're at 66 right now. So again, we're just watching, just waiting and watching to see what's going on. All right. Continuing, I'm probably gonna talk about this one last thing, and then we're gonna go ahead and just do like a little radar break, let the radar run just a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and recap everything real quick, and then while I recap everything, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch back over. Here's the SPC outlook right here. As you can see, we're still under a marginal risk of severe weather for today, but the reason why I went live was because I think that that number could definitely get up higher. Continuing on, if you go ahead and look at the tornado risk is pretty much only inside the 2%. Hail, no hail is expected, and we do have a 5% chance of damaging winds. Tomorrow, a little bit of we have a chance for a thunderstorm, but we're not watching for anything too bad. And same thing with Saturday as well. Saturday is actually probably going to be nice. Definitely one of the nicest weekends we've had so far this year. I do think that this could definitely be, again, just one of the nicest weekends that we've had because of how high those temperatures are going to be and just how nice it's just going to be this weekend. Definitely not as, if you thought that, maybe last weekend was good. Shoot, I think this weekend, I might have it beat just a little bit. Okay, but actually, well, I was going to take a little bit of a break, but look at this. We have some reds and some greens connecting. If you do not know what that means, when reds and greens connect with each other, that means that it is rotating, and that is a potential for a tornado. Now, I just said earlier that it was inside of a prime environment, and it's trying to take advantage of that right now. This is just to the north of Monticello, inside of South Carolina. So just going ahead and continue on watching that. I was going to go ahead and take a little bit of a radar break, but this decided it wants to try something. Right before I left, looking at the other radar though, is the other radar catching it? Not as much as the other one, but this one's definitely catching it better, and giving it definitely more of a chance, while this one down here is just saying it's not doing anything quite yet, but we still have to watch it. This one near Carlisle I was watching in. Honestly, I don't even know what happened with it, but it definitely downtrended a lot. So now we're watching this one right here, just to the south of Chester. Seems like it's gonna try and go somewhere in this area right here. If I was to draw a little warning box, I would probably do it for this area. This area is probably gonna get rain in like the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. That is for Fort Lawn, South Carolina, Great Falls, South Carolina, Lancaster, Heath Springs, and Kershaw inside of South Carolina as well. Alright, I'm probably going to do this one more time, and then we will go on ahead and I probably won't bring it up for a while, but if you are tuning in to the stream, because I see we got a couple of more people in here. If you're just tuning in, as you can see, we are watching for another weather coverage for North and South Carolina, with live radar and alerts. You can see the alerts down there at the bottom. And so far, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for Clay, West Virginia, and Nicholas, West Virginia, but nothing for South Carolina and North Carolina just yet. Still watching for the potential for a pretty interesting supercell over here just to the north of Winnsboro, and actually not really even a supercell anymore, but I mean it has rotation with it, and it's not really even a supercell anymore. It was earlier, but it's not anymore. So at this point, I'm just waiting, just gonna see what happens. Um, as it kind of downtrended a little bit more, kind of a little bit more than what I thought. So we're gonna go ahead and just continue watching it. Again, there might be some downtimes where I don't talk because, again, not a lot's going on, and I do think that we'll probably go on a radar period in like the next few minutes or so. Also, came back some breaking news. We did get record rainfall today inside of at like the Charleston International Airport. As you can see, Nearly 2 inches of rain fell at the Charleston International Airport since midnight, which breaks the daily record rainfall total for the second time this month. Some spots in lower Charleston County even exceeded of up to 4 inches. So that is a record broken. Um, and I just heard something with that that's only a severe thunderstorm warning for Virginia, for West Virginia, but pretty much record rain at Charleston today. Anyways, I think we're gonna start going ahead and just transition over to our radar period. I am still watching these cells, and if I do have to come back online, because I mean, as you can see, they were not like they were earlier. I'm going to continue it on. This is what they look like a few minutes ago, if not like 10 to 15 minutes ago. I mean, they were rotating, they're cranking, but then they kind of downtrended and not really doing their thing anymore. I mean, you can even continue it through. Yeah, they're not really doing their thing anymore. We also do have a special weather statement up here inside of North Carolina as well. That does come with around a good 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts going through Morgantown right now. And just to the southeast of Morgantown as well, and even Hickory. We're gonna go on ahead and go into our radar period. I'm just gonna go on ahead and sit here and watch, let the radar run out, do whatever it needs to do, because as of now, I'm again just not watching for too much. So I will be back whenever it's time to. If you want to leave the stream running inside of the background, that's absolutely fine with me. If you have like a phone, obviously I understand you can't do that, but I know some people have like a laptop or computer. You let the stream run inside the background, and let that happen. If I speak, just make sure that when I come back on, it doesn't scare you or anything like that, because that would be, kind of, insane. But before I go on ahead and talk about that, of course, right as I was literally just about to go. I was just about to go. And we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for North Carolina. Let's go ahead and look at that real quick. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Yep, there it goes. So yeah, new severe thunderstorm warning for Burke counties and Caldwell County inside of North Carolina. This does include, going ahead and switch over to the high res reflectivity. Yeah, we have an entire system right here: Lenoir, North Carolina, Gamewell, Sawmills, as well as Cedar Lock as well inside of North Carolina. Watch out for the potential for some severe storms out there as well. And I might actually keep it on here now pretty much just because of all of these storms over here inside North Carolina as well. But if you know anybody inside the Lenoir region, the Cedar Rock, Sawmills, and the Granite Falls region inside North Carolina, go ahead and call them and, tell them that they are now under a severe thunderstorm warning. This is for 60 mile per hour wind gusts as well. And nickel-sized hail, actually. For 60 mile an hour wind gusts and nickel-sized hail. All right, back on it. I went to go ahead and take a couple of things. We have a bunch of new information. Number one, we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning down here inside of North Carolina that does include central Catawba County and Piedmont of North Carolina, southeastern Alexander County, and northeastern Lincoln County, and west central Iredell County inside the Piedmont of North Carolina. And we look at that, we have damage reports as well. We do have a tree down on a house on George Hildebrand Drive, confirmed no injuries. And down here, just in the northwest of Morganton, trees down on Shuffler Road as well. And then we also did just get another severe thunderstorm warning up here inside North Carolina that includes Allegheny, Ashe County, Surrey County, Watauga County, Wilkes County, and Yadkin counties inside of North Carolina. That includes Wilkesboro, Rhonda, and Jonesville as well. It also includes Mulberry as well, and just to the south of Sparta, North Carolina. So that's all that is. We also do have a potential for a watch. It does say a good 40%. It's a possible, but it's not really, anything too bad. I do think that it'd probably just be a severe thunderstorm watch. Also, we did just get another special weather statement down here inside South Carolina. As you can see, potential storm down here with 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible just to the east of Ridgeway in Westville, Liberty Hill, and DeKalb over here inside South Carolina as well. So DeKalb, Westville, Liberty Hill, Ridgeway, and Lake Watery. We do have a new special weather statement for that. So not only do we have all of these systems over here near North Carolina, or all these storms over here inside North Carolina, but we also do have these storms down here inside of South Carolina as well, doing interesting things right now. Continuing on with this. Yeah, this is all I have for that. They're saying gusts of up to 50 to 60 mile per hour. I'm not quite sure on that yet. But that's just what the radar is saying. But we're going to go ahead and go with what they say. 50 mile per hour wind gust is going on. And if you are inside of the Westville, South Carolina region, DeKalb, Red Hill, Longtown, Colonel Creek Landing, Warren Crossroads, Rabon Crossroads, Cedar Springs, Smallwood, Ridgeway, all of that inside South Carolina, you need to be getting indoors because winds of up to 50 miles per hour are getting inside of South Carolina now. And also something that we could also not be taking lightly as well as boaters as well. Boaters on side of or on the Lake Watery should seek safe harbor at this time. Because there's the lake up here. And the storm's right here, and the lake's right here. So if you're on Lake Watery, or you know anybody on Lake Watery, they need to seek safe harbor. We also do have a little storm right here as well, trying to do something just to the south and east of this one big downpour storm right there as well. And just like that, we have a new tornado warning for North Carolina. Okay, let's go ahead and switch this over. Let's see, tornado warning in North. Alright, yep, so we have a new tornado warning inside of North Carolina right now. Switch that up. Alright. So, new tornado warning. This is for Maiden, Newton, Catawba, Claremont, and Statesville inside of North Carolina. Please take shelter, or if you know anybody inside of these areas, please tell them to take shelter at this time. This does include again, this is for Alexander, Catawba, and Iredell counties inside of North Carolina. Going ahead and take shelter at this time if you are inside any of those counties. So, again, just got a new tornado warning inside of North Carolina. I know a lot of people were talking about this storm multiple times, and it was over here near Maiden, and now it is. And it was kind of like, looks like a baby supercell. Pretty much it is. Pretty much that is what it is at that point. If you go ahead and move it back, you can see already. You can see that it was starting to form. You can already see like the little baby supercell thing that it was trying to do, and it now they issued a tornado warning for it. So continuing on, go ahead and look at the rotation when it comes to that. Rotation definitely is pretty tight there. You see the reds there and the yellows, and you can see like the black and kind of the greens there. That's definitely some interesting rotation that we're gonna have to take seriously. So yeah, this is one of the reasons why I was gonna go live, was because of, well, this region right here, North Carolina. I mean, I knew that it was gonna be interesting. I didn't know how interesting it was gonna be, but I know they were. And this isn't even peak yet. Peak is gonna be around, shoot, in like another, I don't know, like another good 20 to, I'd say 30 minutes to an hour from now is what we're watching for peak. So this is just the beginning right here. So continuing on, this is going through as if there is a tornado on the ground. Is I going to click that off? All right. If there is a tornado on the ground, it looks like it's right here, and it would be going northeast towards Witherspoon Crossroads, Moray's Mill Historic Site, Catawba, Buffalo, and Claremont. You need to be taking shelter at this time because there is a tornado warning for your area. Do not play around with tornado warnings. Everyone that has played around with tornado warnings and it's actually, on the ground, it's, we just need to go on ahead and just take shelter, because it's nothing that you want to risk your life for. But again, I'm not seeing anything too significant about this yet. We can also check debris as well, see if there's debris on the ground. And from what I can see, I do not see any debris yet, if there is any. Yeah, I don't see any debris if there is any. So again, this is for a tornado warning was just issued. That was for Newton, North Carolina, Maiden, North Carolina, and Claremont, North Carolina until 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Also, we just got up to 67. We're getting closer and closer to 75. We're getting closer and closer to 75. Again, if you're on here watching, you're covering this. And at this point, I think we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with this cell, because this is our main attention right now. Looking down to see if I can see anything else. Down here inside South Carolina, no, I'm not seeing anything too bad down there. Going back up to this tornado warning, this is the thing that most of us are paying attention to. Also, if you're just watching this and you're noticing the quality too, the quality, I do need to fix that. I think if I try and go live again, which I'm not going to today, but when I go live tomorrow for Live Radar, I think I'll see what happens then. Um, but at this point, I think we're just waiting just for these things to happen low quality wise. On my screen, it's fine. It's just for the live stream. Again, if you're just tuning in, we do have a tornado warning for, seems to be North Carolina now. Again, if you know anybody inside this region, inside South Carolina, please tell them to take shelter now. First, Catawba, Claremont, and Newton, and Maiden inside of North Carolina as well. All right. Again, this is still our tornado warning. And, yep. All right. This is the real deal now. I guess they decided that they were going to do it either way. But we now have a tornado watch. A tornado watch has been issued for parts of North Carolina and Virginia. Let me go ahead and show that right now. So this is starting to get to the very serious part that I was talking about earlier, where I think a 5% was definitely needed. And right now it's showing. If we want to switch over to scene 2, as you can see, tornado watch has been issued for portions of North Carolina. That includes Charlotte, Lincoln, Concord, Hickory, North Wilkesboro, Winston, Burlington, Mount Airy, Martinsville, Eden, Rocky Mount, Roanoke, and Lynchburg as well. So, a lot of people, that was a couple of tornadoes are possible. Isolated hail of up to half an inch size possible. And scattered gust of up to 65 miles per hour possible. So, I mean, this is really a tornado threat. This is not, again, this is not really too much of a wind or a hail threat. It's really a tornado threat. And that's what we're watching off of this right now. So if you are just tuning in, we are covering this tornado watch warning all the way for North Carolina right now. Checking back on the rotation on that storm. Again, still looking just pretty decent, not a lot. So now we have two tornado watches right now. Look over here. The wow. I mean, this just goes to show you right here what we were talking about earlier. We said the environment really didn't look too favorable. I mean, obviously, a couple of tornadoes, definitely could be possible up here inside Ohio, West Virginia, but um, the SPC still stuck with it, and nothing's going on. Actually, all the action is down here where we thought it would be, because just I don't know why they thought Ohio was going to be the main part, but down here inside North Carolina again, if you are just tuning in, we do have a tornado warning down here for North Carolina that includes Claremont, Catawba, Newton, Maiden, and up just to the west of Statesville as well. So at this point, we are just waiting just to check out the new radar scan at this point. But I can definitely tell you, this thing is trying to start cranking for sure. Again, yeah, if you know anybody inside of those regions, please let them know at this time. And also, we are at 8 likes right now. Again, I'm trying to get up to 10. You can go ahead, hit that like button right now, right quick and fast. It's free. Also, subscribing as well. We're at 67 last time I checked. So I'm trying to get up to, my goal right now is 75, and we're at 67 right now. So at this point, we're just, again, just waiting for the storm. Checking back down inside South Carolina, though, because I do want to go ahead and check that out. As I just got another, new tornado warning. New tornado warning for North Carolina. There it goes. Tornado warning for Wilkes County inside of North Carolina. Let's go ahead and check that out. Double tornado warnings right now. Continuing on, this is for Wilkesboro and Mulberry, inside of North Carolina. And the rotation with this is even stronger than the one down there. So, if you're inside Wilkesboro, Mulberry, or even up there inside of the Stone Mountain State Park, going ahead and get into your safe spots. Or if you know anybody up there inside North Carolina, go ahead and please let them know at this time. I was about to go back down. Let's go ahead and bow down and check on South Carolina. South Carolina right now is still doing well. Not really. I mean, we do have a couple of storms down here. Maybe even a little tiny supercell trying to pop up, but it's not much right now. Velocity wise, not really anything. Also, that tornado watch that just got issued lasts until 11 o'clock tonight. So, I mean, we could be potentially talking about tornadoes until 11 o'clock. But let's go ahead and go back up here. And the tornado warning for up here inside North Carolina. Yeah, the velocity on that looking a bit interesting, especially with this one. See, you have the greens up there. You can see the lighter greens going into the darker greens, and that's causing our rotation. Down here as well, you also have our rotation down here. And, I mean, honestly, very weird. It's doing some very weird things right now. I don't know. It is, radar's kind of in a bit of a spot right now. Look at the reflectivity is fine though, so. But anyways, continuing on, we have two double tornado warnings for North Carolina right now that include, let me see those counties again. That is Wilkes County, Alexander County, Catawba County, and Ardell counties inside of North Carolina. If you know anybody inside of those counties, go on ahead and let them know at this time what is going on and that they need to take shelter. So, I'm going back into this. 2 tornado warnings inside North Carolina. Just again, watching for the potential for looking for the potential for that tornado right now. Right now, I don't think any is touching the ground right now. All right. Well, continuing on. Again, we're just waiting at this point. I'm checking through Twitter, seeing if there's any update from anybody. All right, continuing back. Again, we have some more tornado warnings up here inside of North Carolina. Over here. Inside of Claremont, Catawba, Maiden, and Statesville as well. We also do have a tornado warning up here as well that's still radar indicated. But as of now, I'm not watching for anything too bad. All right, is that another tornado? I think that is. Wait a minute. Yep, there is our third tornado warning of the day inside North Carolina. This is starting to turn into what we hoped it didn't start, but it is apparently doing that. For Surry, Wilkes, and Yadkin counties inside of North Carolina, going on and checking on the velocity. As you can see, yeah, that's some very intense rotation. Same thing with over here. You can see the rotation over here. You can see the rotation. If you look, you see the light blues and the greens are touching. That means rotation. Down here, if we go ahead and check out this storm down here, you see the yellows and the reds with that one. So, well, at this point, very interesting just to see here. But for sure, if you know anybody inside Rhonda, Jonesville, go ahead and tell them to get inside of their safe spots at this time, because this is a very serious situation. We have 3 tornado warnings right now. So at this point, we're just waiting to see what happens. So again, for Rhonda and Jonesville inside of North Carolina, we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning for Alexander and Iredell counties inside of North Carolina. Alright, if you're just tuning in, we have 3 tornado warnings right now. All of them mainly inside just here of Newton, down here near Rhonda, and over here near Mulberry as well inside North Carolina. Again, this was, I mean, as of now, this was just a stream to test stuff out. This was not really, because like, there's no 5% risk, so I usually would not go live unless there was a 5% risk of tornadoes for South Carolina, or if there was a 30% risk of damaging winds or hail. So this was kind of just like a test stream just to see what's going on. If there's no more threat for South Carolina in the future, and South Carolina is pretty much done, I'm probably going to end it there. Just because, you know, South Carolina is obviously my main area. But if there's nothing left, you know, we'll end it there, because I'm really only for South Carolina. But I did want to kind of touch over on North Carolina just because South Carolina is not really doing a whole bunch right now, and we do have some storms here. So I think once these storms exit, I think that would be about it. But as of now, South Carolina is still looking pretty good. A couple of storms over here to the east, kind of. Still do have 3 tornado warnings inside of North Carolina. The rotation on this one is that it's looking interesting. I will say that for sure. Up here as well, kind of say the same thing. The rotation for this one looks to be pretty strong. Same thing with this one right here. All right. Still continuing on. North Carolina still over here with the tornado warnings. Down here inside South Carolina as well. Pretty normal. Not watching for anything right now down here inside South Carolina. Really pretty much just up here inside North Carolina. We have tornado warnings up here as well. Again, those are for, what counties are those? Those are for, let me see this. This is for Surrey, Wilkes, Yadkin, Wilkes County again, and then Alexandria, or Alexander, Catawba, and Iredell. Let's see. Alright, continuing on. We still do have tornado warnings again inside North Carolina again.